After 4 days in Tokyo, it felt like everything and everyone was moving fast.
I don't know what we walked out into.
So we're leaving, in search of something different. If you're new here, we're Ruth and Martin exploring the world and enjoying every step of the journey. And on this trip, our son Jason is along for the ride. We're on a 2-week trip to Japan, and Kyoto felt like the place to experience a different side of it. But we quickly realized Kyoto isn't something you just see. It's something you experience differently. We start our journey in a place that's anything but peaceful and tranquil, Tokyo Station, where we'll catch the Shinkansen from Tokyo to Kyoto.
Pretty busy in here.
Tokyo Station is pretty nuts.
Traveling at 300 kilometers per hour, the journey is half the fun. We were hoping to catch a full glimpse of Mount Fuji. After getting lucky with a view at Lake Kawaguchi, we thought we might see more of her this time. But today, she's completely cloaked in a veil of clouds. After Tokyo, it felt like we were starting to understand Japan, but not in the way we thought. We didn't know what to expect, but we were excited to find out. There's a feeling we get when we wake up in a new place, a mix of excitement and curiosity to get out there and explore. And in Kyoto, we were ready to see what that looked like. The bamboo forest is one of Kyoto's most iconic places. And from the moment we arrived, we realized we weren't the only ones that had the same idea to get there early.
So it's already pretty crowded this morning, even though we tried to get here somewhat early. It's beautiful, and thank God that there's all of the bamboo with a lot of shade to keep it a little cooler, because it's quite warm today.
But even with all the people around us, standing among these towering stalks, we can't help but feel small.
There are just thousands of bamboo trees. Are they trees?
Now, it's not really a forest in the traditional sense. Bamboo is actually a type of grass. But the feeling is the same, and it's no wonder that in Japanese culture, bamboo signifies strength, flexibility, and prosperity. Just a short walk away, we stumbled across something we weren't expecting. So just outside the bamboo forest is a temple, and it's worthwhile coming in and checking this out.
It's really serene here.
Loving this feeling, we went in search of more of it. And not too far away, we found something that felt completely different again. As It's like stepping back in time here. It's like, I'm sure this was exactly the same 500, 1,000 years ago. Places like this are what Kyoto is known for, where the past still feels close enough to touch. Just up the road, that feeling takes on a different meaning. Kyoto is home to thousands of temples and shrines, and even early on, this one felt different. Here, thousands of stone statues stand in remembrance. It's believed that there are over 8,000 statues here that memorialize those that died without family. The numbers are staggering. It's a beautiful place.
It's amazing.
This is how faded over time some of the faces are. Some you can still see faces, and others are completely faded with time.
All right, having vending machines all over the place with drinks is a lifesaver because it's hot today.
So glad we came early.
Yeah.
From there, we made our way to one of Kyoto's most well-known landmarks. Our final stop of the day, the Golden Pavilion. It's nice that the water's pretty still, so you can see the reflection. It's so pretty.
There's really, really big koi fish down in the pond.
It's one of the most photographed places in Japan, and standing here, it's easy to see why.
I think this is the prettiest one yet.
Yeah, the setting is perfect. If it wasn't for all the crowds, and I'm sure when the crowds leave, this is one of the most peaceful places here in Kyoto. Still, it's hard not to stop and take it in. After a full day of exploring, we kept things simple. Touristy or not, sometimes you just have to experience it for yourself. One of the things we wanted to experience while in Kyoto was a traditional tea ceremony. Kyoto is the birthplace of matcha, and the tea ceremony captures over 1,000 years of tradition. It's not really about the tea, it's about the process. Every movement, deliberate. Every detail, intentional. Not a big fan of matcha tea, but that was actually very interesting, learning about the history and the process of the ceremony. So, all in all, I very much enjoyed it. And then we were right back in it. Kiyomizu is one of Kyoto's most popular areas. And it definitely felt like it.
I think all of Japan is on this street right now.
Kiyomizu-dera is one of Kyoto's most famous temples, and for good reason. Its hillside location, numerous artifacts, and healing waters makes this a sacred pilgrimage site.
It's crowded, but it is very beautiful.
It's been an important place here for centuries. Set along the hillside and built entirely without nails, this massive wooden structure rises above the trees. And from up here, you get a completely different perspective of the city.
So you really get to see the scale of the city from up here, how it sits in the valley between the different mountains, ranges. It's huge. But compared to Tokyo, it's a lot lower. There's not a lot of skyscrapers.
Look at that pagoda way off in the forest. There are pagodas just hidden everywhere in this forest.
Now by this point, the crowds and a bit of a headache were starting to catch up with me. So I set the next one out.
Martin is not feeling tip-top, so he went back to the hotel. Jason and I are going to check it out. I will say this is the quietest temple I think we've been to. It's such a nice change from the one we just left, which was insanely busy. It is so quiet and peaceful and empty. You can just see not a lot of people here, which just makes it even more special. So we just came out from going inside of the Sanjusangendo temple. It was absolutely incredible inside. There's 1,000 statues, all of which have their own names and own faces. Every face is different. There's also 28 statues in the front that are the different priests that were just as incredible. It was such an amazing thing to see all of those statues in one place. It's really a bummer. There's no video or photos inside, but it is well worth the visit.
But not everything in Kyoto is rooted in the past. And sometimes it's just about having fun.
So feeling a little bit better after a little bit of a break and rest. We joined back up with Ruth and Jason, and we're at the Nintendo Museum. Not sure we can video anything else after this, but if you're a video game fan, this is like heaven.
Inside, we played a variety of games, some classic, some new, and all just plain fun, and I dare say competitive. Though I think the most fun we had was trying to work together to control our plane. From big controllers to motion controllers. It's interactive, and after a day like this, it was exactly what we needed. We started the day at Nijo Castle. Unlike the temples and shrines we've been visiting, this was once the residence of the shogun.
That's where the samurai lived, right? Just one samurai?
Yeah, I think it's just one samurai's home.
And this was his house. That's a pretty big
His
house.
castle, yeah.
His castle.
A place built for power and to show off wealth, rather than worship. And maybe because of that, it felt completely different. More open and a little easier to take in.
The detail on this is amazing.
Yeah, it looks to be made out of wood, and it's just incredible, the carvings.
Inside, it's very different from what you see outside.
Wow, that was pretty impressive.
I really wish we could have taken pictures in there at least, because just the artwork and the detail is so beautiful, and it's so peaceful. The paintings, a lot of them are reproductions. They have the originals in a different place, but it's just gorgeous.
I like how all the rooms had a specific purpose, yet because of interconnected doors, they could become something else.
Right, like one gentleman I was hearing saying like they could have one room that was their bedroom, but then they could easily just take the mats out, open a few doors, and change it into a big gathering dining area.
Yeah, yeah.
Later that day, we had the chance to try something a little different. A traditional sake tasting. A drink that's been part of Japanese culture for centuries. And like a lot of things in Kyoto, it wasn't just about the drink. While I might not have the palate to discern sake's characteristics, learning about its tradition and role was the true highlight.
I like the first one.
It had already been a full day, but there was still one more place we wanted to see. Fushimi Inari is one of Kyoto's most visited places, known for its thousands of torii gates.
So can you imagine how crowded this place is in the early hours of the day?
Oh, I'm sure it's jam-packed full of people.
So this time, we did things a little differently.
So you either come early or you come late, and we came late, and I think that was the right call because a lot of people now come early at 6 a.m. We're at 6 p.m. and there's people here but nowhere near as crowded. Yeah, this was the right call.
And almost immediately, it felt like a completely different experience. Not because it was empty, but because we finally had the space to take it in.
I can see why people love it here.
There's supposedly over 1,000 of these Torii gates heading up the hill. I don't think we're going to get to all of them. It's appropriate that we're here at the Fushimi Inari gates after the sake tasting, because the Fushimi Inari gates and the temple at the very top celebrate rice, are dedicated to rice, and that's obviously the key ingredient to sake. Alright, so now we keep walking up, fewer people, but now we also enter the dark forest on the hillside here. And at evening they got some lights, but certainly not a lot. It's a little creepy up here.
It is a little creepy up here, especially because it's getting dark.
It's like memorials to people. What are you getting?
I'm getting my matcha latte.
There you go. Is it hot?
It is very hot. It's really hot. I guess I'll try it. I need to let it cool down.
The next day, we took a trip 2 hours south to Hiroshima, a place with a very different kind of history.
Welcome to the Shinkansen. This is the Nozomi Super Express. If you would like to put your luggage behind the seats, please remember one of the sections near the door. Please inform the crew.
This is the atomic bomb dome, one of the few structures left standing after the bombing in 1945.
So standing here in Hiroshima, you realize there's only a few places in the world where you can actually stand and be where a nuclear bomb was dropped. Most of the other places were on government property or in the middle of the ocean. But here, it happened right above us. And that's crazy to think. And then kind of difficult to reconcile that a bomb with that much power was dropped on a city of people. It's, it's hard to put into words. It's crazy. We're standing
Right,
600 meters below where the atomic bomb was dropped.
It's incredible to see the devastation and the remains of the devastation, but then right behind it you see all of the rebirth of all the new buildings.
On the other side of the river, we visited the Peace Memorial Park, a space dedicated to remembrance of the over 140,000 people killed and to the hope that something like this never happens again.
I didn't film it out of respect for privacy and they were kids. There's a lot of school groups here, and at the Children's Memorial, they're placing wreaths of decorated papers and drawings in honor and respect of all the kids that perished from the atomic bomb here in Hiroshima. And not just those that died from the immediate impact, but those that have died throughout the years from illnesses and cancers. But it was a great show of respect and honor. Yeah, it was very moving.
Later that day, we took a ferry to nearby Miyajima Island.
I'm not a big fan of deer or any other animals that are wild who have been conditioned to accept food from humans, because when you either have food or even if you don't, all they simply look at you as a food source, and that can make you a target. We're gonna go check out a floating Torii gate or to see if the tide is out.
And sitting just offshore is one of Japan's most recognizable sights.
So the tide is coming back in. Can't get to the gate, but even just from where we're standing, it's pretty magical. Ghost face, cheers. Kanpai.
It was a lot to take in, and a day that stayed with us for very different reasons. With just a few hours left in Kyoto, we set out for one last look around the city. Nishiki Market is often called Kyoto's kitchen, stretching for blocks through the center of the city and packed with just about everything you can imagine.
There's a lot of people in here, mainly a lot of tourists. You can find pretty much anything on a stick.
And while you could easily eat your way through the whole place, we had something else in mind. Instead, we let the food come to us.
You gotta love beer arriving. How's that for delivery?
Yeah, beer delivery service.
Wow. Have you ever seen that before?
I have not seen that. That's awesome. We feel like we've only scratched the surface.
And before we left, one last look.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, our Japan series concludes in Osaka, where things take a colorful turn. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next adventure.